Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. So today we are going to be talking about strictly gold. And the reason I want to talk about gold is because of what happened last night at the start of the gold opening trade for the overseas market. Now, a lot of people out there have been naysayers for a while. I'm not saying people in the stacking community that might be waiting for a dip or waiting for a better opportunity to buy. I'm talking about the people out there that have been talking bad about gold and silver, really, for a while now. So my thoughts are, first of all, I've explained to you time and time again why I think gold is going to go higher. However, today we're going to touch on some subjects that I don't always talk about. One, because it's touchy subject here on YouTube. When I start naming some of these countries, if I can skirt around it, some of the words, I probably will. So you might have to read a little bit between the lines, because when you start talking about some of these topics, it can kind of be negative on our views here on YouTube because of the way the algorithm works and keywords that might get mentioned. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, the very first thing that I've got to say, though, for those of you that don't know, gold had an amazing evening. Last night, gold got all the way up to $2,147. Now, that's just at the time of filming this video. I don't know what happened after midnight, if maybe the price ended up going back up, if it came back down all the way. But after it got up to that 2147, we had a pullback, and it dropped all the way back down to 2100. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there today that are going to be like, so what? It went up and then it came right back down. And yes, that's true. But something major happened in that process. And basically, people put in a lot of, those of you guys that are crypto traders maybe, I mean, I don't know how many, I know we've talked a lot about cryptos. I have a lot of friends that buy cryptocurrencies. I've even bought in cryptocurrencies. But when people put in cryptocurrency orders or stock orders, or in this case, even gold and silver orders, a lot of times they set it to buy at certain numbers. I mean, I can't sit there and watch what Bitcoin or Shiba or whatever's doing every minute of the day. But I might think in my head, I'm going to use the most common crypto. I don't buy Bitcoin. However, I'm going to use it as a reference for a minute. I might set my phone to say I want one Bitcoin at $36,000, or I want to sell one Bitcoin when it hits $40,000 and it's sitting at, let's say, 39. You know, when that happens, all of a sudden it jumps up. Let's say it jumps up to 40,000, 41,000. Then all of a sudden, all those buy orders the whole way up to that number get filled. And all those sell orders all the way up to that number get filled. And that's exactly what I believe basically happened last night. As that gold price shot up with tremendous force, it basically knocked out all of those sell orders that were sitting there at, I don't know, 2100, 2110, 2120, 2147. Might have been some more at 2150. We don't know, because it didn't get that high. Didn't quite make it there. So when all those get knocked out, essentially out of the equation, it makes it even easier for it to go to that number again, especially when it's sitting right around that number. Which means, you know, I said in a video yesterday, I think we're going to see $2,100 by the end of this week. Well, here's the thing. I didn't expect we'd see it last night before the week even got started. But I'm happy that we did see it. Because even if it comes back a little bit, that's okay. It cleared out a lot of those sell spots. And that's just going to make it easier for it to blow through the next time. Now, I got to take a quick minute and say, please take a quick minute and hit that subscribe button for me. It really helps the channel. I hate to always say that, but I know so many people watch the video and they don't hit that subscribe. Maybe they think that it's going to cost them money or whatever the case may be. But we are trying to grow the channel to 10,000 subscribers, and we are well on the way. And you hitting that subscribe button makes a big difference. It's free to do. I mean, we also have a join button down there for $1.99 a month, where we give out some free stuff. If you're we give a lucky member a free ounce of silver. We'll mail it to that person, but it's randomly picked. And we usually do that live, or right now we're doing football picks for it. Not really a plug, just I had to mention it, because I really need people to subscribe. It's amazing how many people watch the videos but don't hit the subscribe button. So please take a quick minute, hit that subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. Okay, so jumping back, though, on gold. Now, here's why, another reason why. Not only is gold because, when there's uncertainty, gold tends to want to move up. Countries want to buy gold when there's uncertainty. Now, I'll be honest. The whole thing over in Europe right now, with Putin and what's going on over there, that's some uncertainty. We don't know how all that's going to play out, but you can probably bet that they are trading and buying into gold and selling gold, and they can probably buy a gold coin and they can take it anywhere. And here's the thing. Let's say one of those countries are essentially no longer here after all this blows over. If you're sitting on that country's currency, fiat currency, it's probably not going to have much value when it's over. They will just end up joining the other country, and that will be the end of it. Now, I'm not condoning anything. I'm not saying anything one way or the other about these countries. I'm just saying that their currency will probably be wiped out to zero. There will be people out there that have saved money all their lives in fiat money. It's not even really technically money, but everybody calls it money, so I have to kind of cater a little bit to the people that are kind of newer to this. But then fiat dollars will basically become worthless. Now, some of the smart people have already started buying gold and silver. I talk a lot about silver, but right now gold has to be talked about because it is phenomenal what's going on. And a lot of people don't really know that when gold goes up, silver usually goes up maybe a month after. And we've already started seeing the run up on gold. So I don't think it will be long before we start seeing the other metal starting to work its way up. However, back to this, it ain't just what's going on in Europe. Now we have turmoil in the Middle East. And, some people are like, well, that's over there. It ain't going to affect me. But the problem comes up is look at all the other turmoils that are starting. So only tonight I had a friend tell me if I heard about what's going on in Venezuela and their vote to basically go in and take over land that they believe was taken away from them years and years ago. And now, they're being told now's the time to actually take it back if they want it back. And so there you have another example of more turmoil in South America, with Venezuela and their neighbor. Their country is having trouble, and they figure if they can get more resources, pump it out of the ground, they can up their GDP and strengthen their currency. But it ain't just Venezuela and their neighbor. Now it's shifting to Mexico and their neighbor. So Mexico looking at Belize saying, hey, how did we lose this land? We want Belize. And these are small countries. So being prior military, you guys know I'm retired Navy. I've spent a lot of time in the Gulf of Mexico and going all the way down, patrolling all the way down to Panama and even back up to California. So with that time, I've had the privilege to stop in a lot of these small countries. Cozumel, Belize, Panama, and these are countries that don't have monster militaries. They don't have a whole huge naval force. They might be on the water, but what do they really need a huge navy for? I mean, generally, we haven't seen problems arising like we're seeing now. So you have more problems there. And that's not even getting into the whole South Korea issue. It's not getting into the Taiwan issue. I mean, because we don't know how those are going to play out, but we believe that something could be about ready to happen within the year with Taiwan. Why? Because we're seeing China dump huge amounts of dollars to hurry up and get rid of those dollars. Now, it's great, I guess, that some countries are adopting the dollar, you could say, but they're smaller countries. So even if, Venezuela and their new president decides, hey, let's adopt the dollar, it doesn't really have a huge effect when you compare it to a country like China, who has tons and tons of dollars and they start dumping them on the market. That's not really good for us. So with all that turmoil, I think we're going to start seeing gold and silver really start climbing even more. And as it does continue to climb, those of you guys that have bet on gold could get some awards. Now, someone did comment to me the other day, why do you even care? You ain't going to sell it. And he's probably right. I probably won't sell it. I've said before, if the right opportunity arose where I could get a nice homestead and trade gold for a homestead that I could basically farm and work, then I probably would want to do it. I live in the city now, to a point. I'm not in the dead city, center of the city, but I am in the city. I would like to be more out in the country. And if I could get rid of some gold, let's say, to get what I want, then it would be worth it for me. But this is a great way to save money, and it's actually real money, and it is going up in value each day, even though it's not really going up in value. It's the dollar coming down in value that's really making the numbers change. So with that being said, I don't want the video to get too long. I thank you all for watching. I hope you took a minute, hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on gold and silver. Don't get me wrong. I think gold and silver will do better in the long run, as I have said in many videos. But for right now, gold is on fire, and I've got some of it. So hopefully everybody else does too. That way you can kind of cheer it along. I don't believe it will be long before silver starts climbing too. So thank you all for watching. I will see you guys again tomorrow. And I hope you guys all have a great Monday. And hopefully at the time of you watching this, we're seeing gold climb even higher. So thank you all for watching. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.